I want to thank you guys for being here, and we got a lot of cool things planned. I know we got some cool little slide things that happen in different places. I'm sure you guys have stuff up your sleeve. I'm seeing smiling going on. Nothing to refer? I already got a cup. I already got a cup, you know, it's crazy. So I know you guys have stuff planned. I may have a couple things planned too. It's kind of cool. So hopefully we'll see if you guys like it. But thanks for being here. I got something for you guys. First thing is, you know, Tina and I were talking about the year we've had and the work you guys have gone through. We made these guys. I mean, I didn't make these. I paid for them. But you guys, they made these for y'all. So let's see. I'll tell you what we have here for you. You can see the size on this one. This is a large. Who is large?
Troy.
You're large. Okay, so
You're a large?
medium.
Medium?
Yeah, thank you.
Somebody want to open them up and you can see what they look like? So large. So I actually created this design extra large.
Get up a model, Mike.
So I stole this from a couple different places, but and I switched the words around. But you know, Land of the Free because of the brave. This is from a song. But I saw somebody wearing a USA shirt with some other stuff on it, and then I put the words together, and then we made the flag large behind it, and just created our own kind of logo. But I really liked it, and I thought, man, it's gonna be sweet. So
Yeah.
I made it for the store first. We've been selling them out the store, and I'm like, you know what? Let's make one with Lennox on for our team. So actually, Tina said let's put Lennox on it for you guys. So,
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
so extra large,
Nice and soft.
Thank you.
large.
Thank you.
Medium? Medium. This is yours. Why didn't you call it
I
out?
want to say how many L's.
He couldn't read all the X's.
X's and O's.
It was good porno then. That many X's.
And then,
It's being recorded.
Oh, it is.
I got it.
who else got large? Who else had large?
I'm large.
Who else was missing a large? Anyone?
I have one, I believe.
I have one. Did I give you one?
Yeah.
Does everybody have one?
Yes.
Oh, it was, we miscounted. All right, well, good. This is mine.
Who's missing?
Did you miscount?
Maybe she's on purpose.
You have one on your back right now.
Oh, I missed one.
Letter machine.
All right, so, again, Tina and I just want to say thank you to all the hard works, and it's not been an easy year, obviously. We all know that we came out this year, our district's never kicking butt in the first half of 6 months, you know, and guys, we were $2 million ahead of our goal, $3.5 million ahead of last year. It's crazy, right? And we knew coming out of that period that nothing was going to stop us except for a catastrophe like a tornado, right? And that's what happened. So, talked about a little bit of that at Vision, talked about how it's affected our plans and affected our people and our structure. We have a lot to talk about this week about products and how we're getting out, customer service, and how we're dealing with customers, and how we're changing their thinking and different things going on. So I think it'll be evident. I think the book that we picked out for study right now lines up exactly with everything going on and talking about the personalities of our dealers. We've been studying personalities for a long time about, you know, phlegmatic, sanguine, melancholy, you know, cleric. And now Steve Wood brought in this program, shows the same thing but different names, right? Different authors. But personalities are so important to understand and work with, and a lot to be done there. You know, I think we finished September. I think our numbers are #1 in the company right now. I think we're leading the way. We had the best month. We had the best year going so far. I don't think anybody's topped us yet.
Troy, I think there's a UFO that's at the back door for you. You hear it?
And I think that's there's a lot to be said about that. You know, it's called, you know, perseverance. And I talked to a couple TMs that were a little bit short, and it's like, well, I didn't know I could do that, and I could do that. And I'm like, you know what? It's creativity. It's doing what's allowable in our company to still get the job done. And we have numbers to make, and we have to do the right things with character and integrity. And that probably lines up, before I go any further, it probably lines up this more than anything. And then Troy was kind enough to go ahead and laminate our core competencies, and I think our core values, and I think this is so important. And if you look at what our company started doing over a year ago, we started talking about this in every single meeting, every single call, everything. I thought we just laminate it, we can keep it with us and remind us, but I can tell you something. our company is painfully following this direction. I mean, a lot of people have been let go for different reasons. People have been searching questions for different reasons. I can tell you guys it's something that our company, no matter how good you may be in sales or one area or another, if we don't fall under these competencies or these values, we're going to be gone. And I think that's awesome to live under, right? Because now we know where we stand. And I know 10 years ago when I came here, it was like a wild, wild west. It was like, I didn't know if I wanted to stay. I mean, I knew I wanted to stay because of Dottie, because Dottie gave us opportunity. I think we all know the story. We built a business around her because she had the structure. She had the right stuff being done. She's a very tough competitor. But our company leadership wasn't in that same spot at that point. It was just not there. Right, Todd? It was just crazy.
I've got stories.
Yeah. So this gives us the value, the guidelines. This gives us something to work around. Just make sure that we know that, if we fail, but we're doing these things right, we're okay, right? Because we're doing the right things and we'll win it on the road. So integrity, respect, and excellence is awesome. We're going to be, Troy also did these for us, our selling signature sales process. And the E-Myth follows the process. If you read the entire book, you'll find it takes you through every single core step in here. Now, Steve Wood and Mike Hart added some stuff in here, right? Still, the book, E-Myth, follows it pretty well, right? I also did that for me for the schedule. It did change up as of today. We're gonna, before we got here, Jeff, we decided to go on the boat tomorrow instead of Wednesday, because Wednesday's gonna be raining, predicting rain all day. Tomorrow looks like it's cooler, 10 degrees warmer than now, but it'll be like today. So I think we'll get on the water, have some fun. We have Captain Eric's gonna take us around and make sure we're safe and get us home safe, right? So it'll be good. So we'll switch the whole day around. So tomorrow we'll get done boating. We're gonna park 3 cars. We'll take the cars over to the boat thing. We'll pick up the thing, and then we'll go from there. Come back to the cars. We'll go to Lumpy's for dinner. It'll be my night to buy dinner, right? So I'll buy dinner. So we'll have dinner out. It'll be a nice little change, a little sports bar right here in the lake. Should be pretty good. So that's what we'll do. So we'll switch the 2 days around. Let's see what else I want to talk about on that. So on the outline, any questions on the outline other than switching 2 days around? It's quite packed, right? You guys all see that? I mean, there's a lot here. You're thinking, how we get through this whole thing? I think if we stay on time, on track, we'll be fine. I think we'll actually have breaks in here. It's gonna be interesting to see. I think the first couple breakout or talks after the CD, I think will be pretty intense, but I'm not sure everyone will be that intense. I think they'll kind of loosen up a little bit and we'll have some time left over. So we'll gauge from there. But, I've already been asked and threatened, nothing past, certain time, don't go until 1 in the morning. So you're lucky you're missing those days, 1, 2 in the morning, you're like, what did you say?
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to share with you guys, I know the story, but I wanted to share with you guys something. So, Mike, do me a favor, reach in here, take out 5.
Take out 5?
Yeah. It is so weird.
Hang on.
Only 5.
See colors.
Oh, I want this one.
Trade you.
What are these, like pogs or anything? No one else knows what they're.
The gems.
I probably still have some in my folks.
What is a pog?
Little discs that,
Trading discs.
yeah.
Let's talk Dave. Dave's legal. It's a pet rock.
We're only allowed these many questions the whole time.
Or Troy, get yours up.
I said, this is as many questions as we're allowed, right? 5.
You can speak 5
You
times.
can speak 5 times.
Change into my
That's
t-shirt,
it.
it's warm.
All right, so, guys kind of curious?
Yes.
No.
So,
Pretty edible?
Hey, Ryan, it matches your head.
all right, so a few years back, I would say it's got to be, I'm guessing 6 years ago maybe, at the sales meeting, the comedian went around the group and they picked out one of the sales guys that's no longer with us. He actually passed away. His name was Mike. You brought him up on stage, you're talking back and banter back and forth, and he said, hey, is there anything that you do, you know, what do they call you? He goes, well, they got a name for me, they call me Marvel's Mike. You guys remember that? So Todd, you were there.
Mike
Brian, you were
Warner.
there, Dottie, Charlie, myself. So nobody else was here at the time, I don't think. So what he did was he did this whole skit back and forth, and the comedian was asking him questions, but the comedian was because he had won an L award before. He had won Master Counselor several times. He's very gifted, older TM. And he's like, what's your secrets? And then he says, well, I carry around 5 marbles in my pocket. And I keep them from my left pocket, because that's where my wallet is. And whenever I pull my wallet out, I feel those marbles. And the marbles are about something I want to accomplish, something I want to change, or something I want to do. And so this whole comedian thing, this Marbles Mike actually taught all of us. I'll never forget it. It was funny. It was awesome teaching. And about a year and a half ago, I started using it. And I've been carrying marbles around in my pocket. It's the craziest thing. And so whatever I figured out I wanted to do, and I tried to do 5 work days. I tried to do 1 a day. And if you do it for a long enough period of time, it starts to become common, right? Where it becomes part of what you do. And I go on to something else. So, like for instance, as soon as you pick something out that you and I couldn't find marbles anywhere, so I got these, but it's exactly what I've been using at home. So I didn't break. There you go. So let's just say, for instance, like in November I got sick, so I had food poisoning at the DM meeting. So I said, that's it. I don't like how I'm feeling. I'm gonna get better. And so the first thing I wanted to do was just change my thinking. And every day I would get up, I had to think once a day about changing my eating habits. And every time I thought about it, I put it over here. So every day I tried to think about it once a day. That if I didn't think about it, at the end of the day when I came home, so when I come home, I put my wallet on the counter and put everything on there, and I'll see where this is at, and I'll put my pen or whatever I got, I'll put it like this on the counter, and I'm like, shit. You know, so I started training my thinking, right? And then I moved on to, okay, I'm not eating sugar. And I started studying what's in sugar, soda, all kinds of different things. So then, right, so then, okay, now I'm gonna start working out. Oh, I hate working out, how about you? I hate working out. Even though it's only 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Same process. So then, you know, I started looking at it for stuff with our family business, or I started looking at stuff with our team. I started using it in all different ways. All I can tell you guys is, as corny as it may sound, this works. Something very simple, something you can use or not use. I'm not telling you to do anything. I just gave you an idea of 5 pieces of stone or glass that you can use. But if you have something that's on your mind, let's just say you want to call a new business, and you want to call 1 new customer a day for 5 days. Or maybe you want to call on 5 in 1 day and be done for the week. Maybe this will help you remember that you have 3 more to do, or 1 more to go, or whatever. So, all right, just a simple idea, and I thought I'd share with you guys. It's really helped me a lot. Pretty amazing. The guys never left my mind, and I just said I gotta do something different.
I have a recording.
Did you really? Can you bring that to the next meeting we have? All right. It is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it really
It's
is.
great teaching. Any comments any thoughts on that? Hit home at all, or
Yeah,
seen
cool.
something you would try to use or anything?
Yeah.
Cool.
So
All right.
if we find that you're off skew a little bit, we're just gonna say, hey Dave, did you lose your marbles?
Yeah.
Dude, I've heard it quite a few times.
Say, you don't think Tina said that to him already?
She probably did well.
And if you more things,
Try to give him extra.
crazy.
Yeah.
Don't get those in front of it or after it. You know.
She's sneaking
So-
marbles in his left pocket.
To kick us off, and I want to grab my phone because I want to look at the time. To kick us off in a theory, so I sound like a CD or something. I've been listening to like 6 to 8 CDs a day recently for the last couple of weeks, just because I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something specific and I can't find it. So I sound like a CD for some reason. It's because I've been listening to a shit list of CDs. This has been Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm doing stuff and just letting them play. And then I started reading some stuff about history, because I love history. You guys all know that. And I just thought to myself, you know what? There was a couple of stories I was going to tell, and then I thought, you know what? I'm going to tell this story. It's going to be a personal story about my family. And you know, you may not like it, and you may like it. I'm just asking you to bear with me. But this is, I think, totally in alignment with what we're doing right now, where we're at right now. So it starts off with this. So for instance, like on my phone, I have a picture of my 3 daughters. I call my artwork. you know. I'm not a good artist. That seemed to turn out pretty good. So the stories will talk about this right here, this dog. And this dog's been dead for 3.5 years. Can't take him off I just can't get rid of him. Cool, right? I mean, it's kind of crazy, but it's true. And how can a dog, you know, affect somebody like that? Jeff, you're a dog guy, I'm a dog guy. I don't really care for cats, although I had one cat I really liked. It was because he was like a dog. I'd call him, he'd come over and sit on my lap. I say, get off my lap, he'd go over there and sit over there. I'd go to the kitchen, he'd go in the kitchen. Hey, want some of the food? He'd say, he'd meow, and I'd give some food. Other than that, it's not a cat person, you know. But dogs are cool, you know. Dogs, the only, that I know, the only pet that, you know, they're home, when they hear the car come in the driveway, they run to the door, tails are wagging, they're pounding the door, they can't wait to give you love, serve you. No matter how bad your day is, they're going to make you smile. Is that true? Jeff? Yeah, absolutely. So, I keep going back to this story because I thought, you know, I kept thinking about things that we're going through as a group, where we're going in the future, and the decisions we're all making. And every one of you guys are making different decisions all the time, every day. You know, it could be stuff like, you know, I don't know if I can take this anymore. I'm not sure if I want to work for a competitor. They've been calling me all the time. Maybe I should just go work for them. Maybe that's got to be a little bit better. Or, you know what, maybe it's relational. Maybe, you know, I don't want to deal with this gal anymore, or this guy anymore. Maybe I want to do something different. Maybe I want to move. You know, whatever's going on in your thoughts. Our decisions create our destiny. You may not see it. It's almost like a ripple effect. So the story about this dog is really interesting because he lived to almost 14 years old, and he's a black lab, of course. And my daughter Sam was a little bit over 13 and a half, and she's the baby of the house, right? So our relationship was then, I'm strict. I mean, that's just who I am. I'm strict. You know, here's the rules. And Tina, when it came to Sam, Tina's the same way. We were raised pretty much a lot the same. But when it came to Carolyn and Jess, she was very strict. We were on the same page. When it came to Sam, she was on a different cycle. She was on a different thought process. It was her baby. It's the last one. We're not having any more. Now, I wanted to have, our deal was we shook on 4. And we settled with 3 because she said no more. And then I said, well, you problem, we shook on 4. She's like, Dave, if you want one, have one with somebody else. And I said, well, that's not a deal. It caused all kinds of problems, right? So, this is true. I mean, this is all not made up. And so anyway, we went down this path and we were done. So Sam had opportunities being the youngest child that others didn't have, right? But still, we still held the line. So anyway, we have a golden retriever named Jake. This is a beautiful dog. The girls groomed him all the time. This beautiful personality, awesome dog. And when the dog got older in our house, as he got older, then we would kind of bring another dog in, and kind of like the older dogs actually transfer personality to keep the other ones in line. It's the craziest thing. And you can see the personalities shifting through, and it's like they're coaching without even doing a thing. You've already done your work. And so we weren't ready to get another dog yet. And what happened was, Sam says, hey, I'm going over to Nikki Bowen's house. Now, three blocks away was a hunting guide. We belonged to Halter Wildlife in Kenosha. And for years, and he was a paid guide, and he also raised dogs, right? And he would sell his dogs, and he would take people bird hunting. And so Nikki, his daughter, was 2 years older than Sam, but they played competitive volleyball together, so they became friends. And Sam loved dogs, so she's like, "Hey, Sam, we're having a litter." So she got her bike and rode 3 blocks down the road, and was there for the watching of the litter, right? I was gone; I didn't know anything about it. But I heard the story later that the dog came out, and they cleaned it up, and the dog came out, and they cleaned it up, and everything's going great, and then they were all done. They cleaned up the dogs, they put them in a box, they're getting, you know, a warmer light on, doing all these different things. It was in the fall. And then all of a sudden, the dog kind of shifted again, and another one came out. But it wasn't breathing, it was still. And so they're like, oh my God, what do we do? And it was a little run. And so Sam was, well, let me call Mom. So Tina at the time was a veterinary technician, and before that she was a medical, EMT, emergency medical technician, right? She's always worked in medical and situations, and she's had a lot of death around her and stuff like that. But with animals, she was super gifted. And so Tina calls her, Sam calls Tina, and Tina answers the phone, which is pretty rare because she worked in surgery, but she answered the phone. And goes, hey Sam, what's up? She's like, Mom, we just had a litter of puppies, and one just came out, and it's like still, nothing's happening. It's just like laying there. It's like, you know, because we'll clean up as fast as you can, warm it carefully, and get its mouth clear, make sure the mouth passage is open, and this is this little tiny little runt, right? And then she just had her speakerphone, and then she's like, open her mouth, now you're gonna have to gently breathe into the dog's mouth. She's like, okay, so she does it, and they do it again and again. This thing comes to life. And they're all excited, celebrating stuff, and clean it up, and now those little runs with the rusty dogs, and everything's going great, right? So then Sam would go there all the time. When they were gone, she'd go there for them and take care of them and feed them, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, a few days later, she goes over there and lets herself, they were in the garage, heated garage, and goes in the garage, and the dogs are in here, and she's going through them. She's like, there's one missing, where's the little one? And she looks, and over here in the side of the garage, in the corner, it was dead again. So she immediately grabs it, remember what she just did when it came out, and warmed him up, and flipped him over and started slowly breathing, carefully breathing in his mouth, and he came back alive again. So, you kind of think about that and go, what's God's intention was a dog? Because God has his way with animals in the wild. He has, once in a while we see one that should be, it's like, gosh, please take care of this one, would you please? But typically he's got a way of, solving problems, right? But here this pup comes to life again, so she's all excited, things are great. A couple of days later she goes over there, same scenario, brings him around again. So now she decides to start sleeping there and start hanging out there and on the garage and stuff and hanging out with the dogs. And as the dog is healthier and stronger. Well, now they're a little bit bigger, and it's in the fall, so they have a pool. The pool's covered, and all the dogs run around the yard. And all of a sudden she hears splashing and movement, and she turns and looks, and she can't see anything, but she knows something's wrong. And she goes over to the pool, looks inside, and here this runt has gotten onto the cover and underneath it, and is trapped underneath this thing. So she rips the cover, jumps in this cold pool, and saves this dog again. Pumps out water out of it and everything. Okay, this is crazy. So this is the third time. So then she's at home, at our house, it's like, Mom and Dad, I want to get this dog, can I have this dog? And we're like, no, Jakey's not old enough yet. He gets a little older. She goes, no, it's supposed to be mine, I know it's supposed to be mine. And it's going on and back and forth, right? And it goes from being cute to being not very pretty, right? It's real, it's family time. So a few weeks go by, and I think we're through this, and I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm watching, we got a fire going over here, and we have a pot-belly stove I put in years ago, and we had the TV going, the big screen TV, and I'm watching the Packer game. And I'm watching the game, and I look out, come around, and I see movement. And here comes Sam walking down the driveway, carrying this little dog. Now I'm a dog fan. And I'm like, Tina! She's like, what? And I go, your daughter's carrying that dog around here. I thought we said no. She goes, I told her no, I'll take care of this. And she walks in the house, and I hear, I'm like, crap. So then the thing comes in and rubs me, it's on my lap, it's licking me, they have puppy breath and it's all cool and stuff. So that's Coley. This dog's name is Cole, and we call him Coley, but he's black except for one little white spot right here, and one little white spot right back here. And this is amazing how you learn by watching, right? And so here's a runt that's not supposed to be here, that survives all these things, and now he's here. And the first thing I think about is, well, he's probably not handling himself very well. He probably got some brain cells gone. He's probably got some issues that are going to happen. Probably going to pay lots of money in medical bills. And that's my thinking. But here, he's awful cute. He's awful cute. And so we get him. Now it's her. So here's what she says. She's like, Dad, don't be mad. Twice. So now it's off the table. You can't be mad anymore. We just said that, right? So, just so you know, I bought the dog. I'm like, you bought the dog? With what money? She says, well, I've been babysitting a lot lately, in case you haven't noticed. I'm like, yeah, you've been working pretty hard. She says, well, I saved up $99. I'm like, yeah. Okay. She's like, I talked to Mr. Bowen, and I got him to sell me that dog for $99. Remember, I saved his life 3 times, right? I'm like, yeah, but he sells his dogs for like close to $1,000. He goes, yeah, I know, but I tried. And I saved his life. You wouldn't have the dog anyway, Dad. You realize that, right? I'm like, I realize that, Sam, but so why can't you give me that dog for $99? I have no money left, so we need to buy some dog food. So we went and bought some dog food and stuff. So dog is part of our house, and it's a little tiny thing. You don't know what it's going to be like. And we're kind of going through it. And as it's getting older, and you start to notice habits. You start to notice some differences. And the first thing I notice is the dog gives it all it's got. There's no holding back. There's no fear. It's just like, all I got. And you know, at first when it's little, I kind of think, well, it's a puppy, it hasn't been hurt enough or told no enough. Now our golden would look and go, the teeth would pop out and snap at it, and they'd be like, whoa, that's it. And so you knew his limits with that dog, right? They became the best of friends, of course. But as the older dog started to train the younger dog, there was a lot of movement and growling and his, you know, stuff going on. All was all good. It knew its parameters. But outside of that, it knew what it wanted. It wanted to do as much as it could. It wanted to run as hard as it could run. It wanted to give everything it had. You know, and I've watched it my whole life, and I can tell you guys, it's affected me a lot. It affected me a lot. And when I see his picture, I see love. I see strength and tenacity. I see like, just get out of my way. Just it's amazing. So whenever, you know, sometimes, a lot of times I'll turn the computer on, I don't even see him. And other times I see him look at me going, what are you doing, dude? Are you giving it all you got? Have you given it all your energy today, so you know that today you gave it all you got? Have you done everything you can? Have you turned over your stone? Are you exhausted? Or just kind of go along and kind of ride the day out? Did you just kind of like, another day, check mark? Or did you give it all you got? You know, and when I saw him, every single stinking minute, he gave it all he's got. And, you know, and that's why I keep coming back to this story for you guys, because here's what happened. As he got older, wherever Sam went, the dog went. You know, he never would run away. The dog became extremely amazing in a lot of ways, but he always listened, a great listener. If you like take off after a squirrel or a bunny, no, and he would stop right there and went back at you and see, is that what you said? You know, not kidding you. For a lot of dogs, no matter what you said, they were gone. Right? There's no beating on this dog or anything. This is love, just giving them love, encouragement. And then eventually I started taking him out with our golden to the field, right? You know, hunt pheasants. We hunted pheasants a lot every weekend, you know. And he became really good at it. And what was neat about it was I found it very quickly in the field. It's very loud. You have to project your voice, right? These dogs can range, you know, if they're out past this pine tree right here, it's outside your shotgun range. So you're trying to keep them inside that, but they want to range, they want to go. So a lot of times I'd be, you know, yelling, Coley, you know, and he would stop. And I found out that if I was loud, he would shut down. This wasn't his thing. So we started keeping like, how do I communicate with you, bud? And he'd look at me like this, like, I need you to listen to me. And he'd look at me, you know, he's all funny. He would go to eat. He knew his food was coming. He would sit back, and his little feet would shake like this, just shiver, shiver, shiver. Listen, and he would attack his food, and actually he'd hit his food so hard, sometimes he'd get bloody noses. That's how aggressively he'd eat his food. Crazy. So, and that's how you think about that with a dog, just wham. So we get in the field, and what happened was the golden retriever, as he got older, he started to pull back, and he started to move really slowly, but they would move back and forth across the field, looking for pheasants, snuffing back and forth. And the golden would be right inside this range, and the black would be Coley would be just outside. So the two dogs in tandem working like this. It was almost like, hey, old man, I'm going to find more than you find. And the old man was saying, I want to find the ones you miss, because you're going to miss some. And it happened every single time. The black would get more birds up, for sure. And I would shoot him, and if I missed it, he'd look back at me like, you know, I worked my butt off, you missed it. But if I would have hit it, it'd be for sure he would pick that thing up and he'd get it back to me, and I'd just kneel down, and sure enough, he'd come up and take it, and I put it in my bag, and he'd look at me, why'd you put it in the bag? I just gave it to you. And I'd find another one. Oh, another one. He'd run back out there, right? And then golden, what we'd do is, if the black missed one, or maybe one crawled in or ran in after the black went through, Jakey would get that one up, and he would get it, and he'd go get it and bring it back. And he'd look at me like, oh, missed that one, you know. And you could see all this stuff. It's just the coolest thing in the world, and I just love hunting with these two dogs. And then as Coley got older and he couldn't go anymore, he left them at home, which was really tough to do, but the black, you know, Coley picked it up. He went to the next level. One day in a 3-hour period, we took out feeding contractors, and I had 33 pheasants on my back of my coat. 33 pheasants. And I was trying to figure out why I was so tired. And we were both tired, looking like, holy crap, these guys are pigs, you know. Everything they beat up, they'd shoot it. So anyway, so we'd go on, but what I noticed about this dog as he got older, the sugar levels and the changes in his body and all those kinds of things, they're like your animals are like people, you know, their bodies change. And one day we're out in the middle of the swamp, and this cattails are over your head, and you're kind of walking through paths, and what you're doing is you can hear your dogs in the water jumping around, and you can hear when the birds start to take off. And for a pheasant to pick up on the cattails, it's hard. You have to knock the cattails down and work their way up, and then they go straight up, and then they almost like pause before they go front. It's just the craziest thing. So you just wait, listen, you hear the noise, okay, get ready. Yep, here it comes up, there's his pause, he's done, you know, it's right down he goes. And the dog would finally bring back. This is Coley, you just go right back to him. So one day we were out there, and we had some customers with us, and he wouldn't come back. And he just brought a bird, and he took off. And all of a sudden it's quiet. He wouldn't come back. And I'm like, this isn't cool. And I'm yelling for him, I come back, nothing happening. So now I'm getting really scared. So I start moving quickly through the marsh, looking and doing circles. I went out, I started doing small, I started bigger, and I finally come around this corner and knock some cattails out of the way, and he's standing in the water up about to his sides, glazed over, standing there, not coherent. Craziest thing in the world. But his sugar level had gotten so low that it shut his body down. So when you ever talk about giving all you got until you have nothing left, that's what he did all the time. Every single time he did anything. So I scooped him up, I had to run to my truck through the truck, and left the guys back there to go to the clubhouse, ran into the dog emergency room, and he's still incoherent, just glazed over. Got him in there and like took his blood and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, Dave, he's out of sugar. And he ran hard. What are you doing? Didn't you know that these dogs can kill themselves? They'll run themselves to death. I'm like, I guess I heard that, but I've never seen this before. So I just start preparing him. Every time we go out, I give him some treats. We start, and then partway through the hour through, give him some treats, and I cool him down, give him some, make him drink water. Remember, this whole time, I got water going into his face, and he's like looking around like this, you know, he's letting me go, you know, we're not gonna get going. I gotta get going. He's just aggressive as hell. The near cool story about him hunting was just so fun because remember I said he's a runt, litter. He's small. I think maxed out. His peak weight is like 40 pounds, I think. It's small for a black lab. So we'd take out these big hitting guys, right? And they would get out these. We'd go have some lunch, and we'd go, okay, you ready? And go to their trucks, and they'd open the door, and this lab would jump out of the truck or Chesapeake or whatever they had. Jump up, boom! I think the part of the ground kind of shimmered a little bit. It was so much, they're like 100-pound dogs. Then you're running around, and you know, and I go, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful dog, and I pet it, and I go, he goes, where's yours? Ah, it's in the truck. He's ready to go, and hold my dog, and he pops out. They're like, what did you do with that? You catch mini birds? You know, you catch 3 or 4? Oh, I hope my dog don't hurt him. I'm like, why? I hope he doesn't either, because that'd be terrible. You know, I'd be really upset. You know, so we get out there, and we have different things. I always say, like, hey, listen. My dog's a jumper, so do not shoot until the bird is above your head. Because my dog Coley would actually come out of the brush tail. I call my dog a sand dog. He'd come out of the bush and he'd come out of the air and grab the bird out of the air. So if you shot this way, you would take his damn head off, and I would take your head off. You know? so you know, so he's like, yeah, we're cool. So here's every single time this guy's these big dogs, and sure enough, they'd shoot bird way over here, and Coley would be over there, and bird would get up. I'd see him, he'd have to go up, and you'd see the bird, and you hear the shot, and he'd take off for it. And you could see him just partner. This dog would run, you know how dogs can run pretty fast? You ever see it like a full out, with their bodies stretched full out? That's how he ran, all the time. He didn't run tiptoeing, he ran full out, stretched out. And I could see the brush going through it, I'm like, oh, it's not gonna be good, it's not gonna be good. This big old dog, get over there and pick up this bird, you know, and coming on back, you know. And I'm like, oh God, this is not gonna be good. And he would run full speed and get up to that dog, and he would drop his head and turn his shoulder, and he'd pile drive that big old dog. Every time. Dog would roll over, he'd run over there, grab the bird, bring it over to me, goes, here boss, here's your bird. You know, every time. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. My little dog didn't hurt yours, did he? You know, every time. That's the kind of gusto this dog had. He lived for that. You lived for that. I don't think this dog ever went to sleep not thinking he didn't get his own. Every day, right? I love my daughter the same way. I love her family the same way. When Sam went off to live in Maui for like a couple years, she missed her family, but she missed him. He was not the same dog with her not there. He was an awesome dog, but he missed Sam. He knew something was different. When she came back and she went off to college at Stevens Point, for a while, she tried to leave him at home, and it just wasn't working out, so she brought him to college. And that didn't work out, because she was gone too much. So then I ended up having to go and get him, and then he actually came to his first DAC meeting. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but it was in, where was that? Somewhere in Wausau. I can't remember where it was, but I had to bring him to the DAC meeting, so he spent the whole day walking around the meeting. It was the coolest thing. And so he had fun at that, but everything he did was like that. So I'll fast forward to the end of the story, toward the end of this thing. So at 13 and a half years old, he starts showing his athletic ability, his legs, his back, his system starts shutting down. And he's hurting. And Sam now worked for a veterinary clinic. They started seeing all these older dogs come in, and people wouldn't put them to sleep. They wouldn't help them through their misery. They were waiting too long. They were thinking about themselves, not the animal, and a lot of different things, right? But also do all you can, right? So one day she finally comes home, and she's crying. I'm like, what's up? She's crying, and I'm like, and this Sam's tough. She's a tough kid. And I'm like, what's up? She's like, yeah, I gotta do it. I'm like, what? She was like, I gotta put Chloe down. You know, and I'm like, well, I'm trying not to cry, like, well, I understand, it's hard to do. And so she had a doctor come to the house, and, we waited a week or so, and then she had it all happen. Then they put them down. They're all around, and, thank them for being amazing person in our family. So it crushed her. Here she's now, 27. Did I say 27? And she's lost. And I remember coming home, she was living above our store at the time. You're coming home and going, sitting at the kitchen table with me and going, I'm lost, Dad. I have nothing. I'm lost. And you think about it, just a dog, right? It's just a dog. But it's the passion that thing has for you. It's gusto. It's everything it's got. You're always the best, it's all that stuff. And so I'm like, hey, you're going to be fine. So she has him cremated. And she's, would keep him in the car with her. And then she had a couple necklaces made and some different stuff. And trying to really keep him alive in her spirit and heart, trying to keep, togetherness. So one day she's talking to a friend of hers. She became friends with this lady, this gal, a couple years older than her. And this gal had been going through a lot of troubles. And Sam had seen a way for her to help her by encouragement and talking about families and different stuff. This woman was recently divorced, about 2 years ago, or a year earlier, 2 years earlier, divorced a son. And so really trying to help. She was maybe going to move in with her upstairs, above her store and all this kind of stuff. Really liked her a lot. And then she's saying, the girl says, well, I heard about them, people doing like tattoos and with animals, the animals on, for remembrance and stuff. She goes, oh, that's a great idea. I never thought about that. And Sam has tattoos. I'm not a tattoo person, right? And like if I wanted tattoos, God would put them on me already, right? I mean, what the heck are we doing? But I understand art, and there's a whole world in that area, so that's fine. So the girl says that. She goes, yeah. She goes, you know what? I even heard you can put ashes in the tattoos. It's like, you're shitting me. All right. So she goes, well, think about that. I like that idea. So she's like, well, I know this guy that's like really good with animals, especially the eyes and the face and stuff, and you should talk to him. Okay. So she goes over to this tattoo artist and talks about it, and they map it out and talk about it, and sure enough, he can do it. So she has Chloe standing, and this is one of her favorite shots. She's got him up north in Florence, Wisconsin, up by it's west of here, east of here. Has some cabin. And the dog, he loved to pier jump, right? So she had a stick, and she's throwing it, and he'd run off and pier jump, and go back on the shore, come back on the pier, drop the stick, ready, So he got this bit where he is like worn to a frazzle. Now she knows this sugar thing now too, and he's worn out. And you look at her, his mouth is open, he's got water in his face, and he's just, it's pretty much in that same era of that picture right there, actually. And that was her favorite shot that she's ever taken on. So she took that head and put it on her calf, and it looks, holy crap, it's looking amazing. It's like just looking right at him. And so that's how she met Josh, who she married. And it's pretty amazing because I kind of look at it as this. Can you have a soulmate with a dog, with an animal? I don't know. I think you could. I think there's some super duper connection there that's really important, right? But I kind of think that, Sam took care of this dog and saved his life, but did the dog save her life? I don't know, it's a good question. And when she was the down after he's gone and she's the most down, I kind of feel in some ways that this dog kind of came around the backside and found her husband. And it's pretty neat because along the way that this gal that she was talking to who was suicidal, doing drugs and all stuff, bad things going on in her life that she's trying to friend and really mentor really in a lot of ways, older than her, is Josh's ex-wife. And her son became Sam's Sam's son. And you look at this whole thing about how she didn't have to save her one's life. Or did the run save her life? And I kind of look at decisions we make and how the ripple effect on our lives and the destiny that we have. I mean, I believe God has a destiny. We're made in His likeness. I know if I make anybody uncomfortable when I talk about my belief, I'm sorry. I don't mean to. Please don't be mad at me. I respect all beliefs, okay, or not. But I believe I believe we're made in His likeness, and we have a role that He wants us to play. And do we know what that is? Have we experienced that? Have we done everything we can? And I look at how these miracles these things can happen, these progressions can happen, and I say to myself, what decisions are we going to make this week that are going to change our future, our destiny down the road? And it could be a lot of bad ways. You can go back to this quote right here and go, a lot of people aren't with us anymore because the decisions they made at events are no longer with our company, and they've definitely changed their lives. But what can we do positively through different ideas and this creative place that we have, this gift we have right here is amazing, that we can pull our resources together and have this place to spend time for 4 days with each other, with this family, with this community, and change our future. What's our destiny? I don't know what my destiny is. I know that my lifespan is much shorter than probably a lot of you guys, because you're a lot younger than me. But I tell you what, man, I don't go to bed, very seldom, not exhausted. Not giving it all I got. This is who I am. You guys may laugh and say, well, how come you're up so early? Or how come you're up so late? Or how come you're doing that project? Because I got back to my family and my friends, and people I love. Because if I don't, I just feel like I've wasted my day. I got a beautiful day. Look at how gorgeous this is. Tomorrow's going to be even prettier than this. What are we going to do to have a ripple effect on our future that starts right now that we don't even realize is going to happen? I think the ideas, the openness, the creativity, the family spirit, everybody sharing. And don't be afraid, please. Don't be afraid to challenge. Don't be afraid to challenge. Because if we just go along without challenging, nothing's good is going to come out of this week. We have to challenge. If you have it on your heart, if you know it's right, challenge. Sam was told many times, no dog. No dog. So she just thought about, okay, no dog, but I'm going to have my own money. I'm going to figure out my own way to do it. And I'm not saying go against our company, but I'm not saying lay down either. Don't lay down either. We have a challenge. We don't have equipment in our top product, right? We have one sweet spot. Coach into that sweet spot. Let's get through this challenge. Let's get back on track. We have a lot we can do. A lot we can do. I just wanted you guys, I want to share a personal story for a change instead of what I love is history. Because those are things I look at. I study dogs. Right now I'm studying squirrels. I have a squirrel fest in my house. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I came out of my office the other day, and it was on a Saturday a couple weeks ago, and Tina's out on the deck. She's sitting in this chair, her legs up on this chair, and I thought she was reading. That's what we would typically on our deck and read. And I went to eat I was making myself a shake, so I just actually got done working out. I making myself a shake, and then I'm looking and saw some movement. I'm like, what the heck is that? So I go to the door, and I'm standing there going, this is weird. And she's got her head down, and the next thing I know is I look around like this to see around her, and she's got this squirrel sitting on her lap eating peanuts.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, woman, you're going to get bitten.
Yeah,
If you get rabies, then I can't touch you. This is all I mean.
Please bite me.
So she's like, we're fine. So it's the weirdest thing, but this squirrel that comes to our house is, we call him Coach, because he's got a white spot here, and when you go to give him a nut, he shakes his bottom feet. It's the craziest thing in the world. He'll hang around until we come home. He'll follow the truck up the driveway, go eat the mail, he'll walk behind you, walk alongside you. I came out to get a pizza the other night, ordered a pizza, and the guy gives me the pizza and he goes, "Holy crap, don't move, don't move." I'm like, why? He goes, "There's a black squirrel right behind you." I'm like, "Yeah, that's a holy squirrel." He goes, "What?" I go, "That's a holy squirrel. Does it have a white spot?" He goes, "Yes." He goes, "Like, he's standing on 2 feet. What the heck is he doing?" He goes, "He's not eating my pizza." You know, I look at him and I go, "Yep, that's a holy squirrel. He's fine. He's right here." He's like, "It's fine." He's like, "Holy crap." He's like, "All right, we're going." So, "Come on, Coley." And go like this, and he follows right alongside me. We go up to the porch. He sits in the way of the porch. I open the door. On one side, he's sitting right there. I get a nut and throw it on the floor there. I don't give it to him. I don't hand feed him. It's crazy. It's crazy. He said it's a different story, but I can tell you something. Whatever you see, whatever you're around, please study it. Study it. Study people's faces this week. Study what they say. Study their gestures. Study where they're coming from. You know, when we're relaxing later on and watching a movie or playing some games or drinking some alcohol or whatever we're doing, get ideas from each other. Study each other, and let's make our lives great. I think our family can continue to lead Lennox in a lot of ways and lead our families in a lot better places. We're going to have to give it all we got. We have to give it all we got. I know that for sure. And I used to think this. I'll leave you with this last thought. When I was a kid, I watched my mom and dad both work American Motors. My mom was in the office. My dad was a supervisor. They worked hard, right? They had 2 weeks off paid in the summer. We had amazing vacations. We lived pretty well for factory workers, right? But I remember thinking to myself, man, you know, by the time I'm like 30, 35, I'm going to be retired. I'm going to be able to move on. And they don't have it. They're just not smart as I am, right? And I remember about 42 thinking to myself, son of a bitch, man. I'm working my guts out. I'm still right here in the same house. All I can tell you is every era, every generation works as hard as they can. And yeah, there's a smarter way and not so smarter way of working at different things. But you guys, one thing I know for sure, it's consistent with all since the start of time. Consistent hard work, consistent push, consistent desire, consistent giving all you got. For whatever your reason is. Mine is I love my family. If I didn't have a family, I'd have hair down past my shoulders. I'd be drinking umbrella drinks in Florida. Be on somebody's boat, taking people fishing. I'd never wear shoes ever again. I'd never wear a shirt. This is who I am. You know? But my family makes me do things I don't want to necessarily do, so let's get it all you got, because you might as well take your time and make it worth it. And leave a legacy. Somehow, you got to think about our future runners, leave a legacy. That's just what I want to start off with today, is you guys and talking, and we're a little bit ahead of schedule, which is what I was hoping for, since we're reset. So, thank you. Thank you ahead of time for your hard work and all the fun that we're going to have the next couple of days. All right? Let's go over here and get in this first audio.